on an everyday, basis, say I bump into a mum on the school run, or say I see a friend in a local coffee shop, you do the hellos, how are you? You do the weather, you talk about a celebrity who's just done something ridiculous, and then you bitch about someone, then you touch on politics. But you don't, unless you're, I don't know, drunk, or you've had something really, big happen with a friend or a loved one, then you get into it. Then you go beneath the layers and you talk about these fundamental pillars of life. But we just don't seem to do it unless there's like a big catalyst.
Well, yes, but I mean, the flip side of that is if I'm just in the coffee shop on my way to a meeting and I bump into my friend and they say, well, I'm really depressed and I'm thinking about getting a divorce. And I'm like, oh God, well, I have a meeting. So call me later.
Timing.
So yeah, so there is like context matters. I don't think we should all be having like the deepest conversation at every moment. But I feel like people, because they haven't, I think because they fear their own pain and they fear answers to certain questions, they actually avoid thinking about very important things and fill their life with bright, shiny distraction, or fill their life with other drama. So like if you have deep pain about your family, about your relationship with your parents, your siblings, your spouse, whatever it is, maybe you don't want to talk about that. So you just stir up some bullshit over here all damn day. And it's like, or you just talk about celebrities, or you just talk about whatever it is. And I'm like, until you really invest in yourself and healing the foundation of your house, you can't expect the house to be functioning well. I think about another analogy to the sweater pull. My brain is so helped by analogy. And
I love an analogy. Go for it.
Well, to me, it's like the foundation of a house is like everything, no matter how Victorian, beautiful, castle-like the house is, if the house is on bad foundations, or if you don't understand the foundation, you can't understand the rest of the house. And I think about this with the example of my mother. So my mother is the most amazing person, the funniest, the best. And yet she believes that the Bible is the infallible word of God, and that homosexuality is a sin and is a deadly sin and leads and is a bad lifestyle choice. And that, like, on the surface, we like we fight because I deeply disagree with her. And yet, because I did the work, first of all, because I removed myself and found my own community of safety and support and felt strong on my own, that gave me the strength to then see her clearly and then go deep into the foundation and realize my mother came from extreme poverty, and she was basically mistreated by her family, and she's had 3 husbands cheat on her, or like abuse her and leave her, cheat on her, whatever it was. And her life has fallen apart numerous times. And the only thing that helped her was God, was the belief that God has a plan. I remember, now I'm 38, I have mom friends that when the kids go to sleep, the moms drink wine and laugh with, I go over to the house and we're having a blast. And I'm like, I didn't know mothers had this fun. And I remember thinking, oh my gosh, was my mom like having wine with friends when we went to bed? I never thought of that my mom is a person. So I asked her, and she said, whenever I would finally get a minute's rest, I was a single mom. So I would draw a bath and I would sit in the bath by myself and I would read the Bible. And I was like, that's it? Where's your glass of wine? You just read the Bible? And it just made me realize that her belief in the Bible and God's will over her life is so foundational to her sanity, to the structure of her life. And so, and I'm a kid born in 1982. As I'm like 2-3 years old and I want to play with a Barbie, or I am a little swishy here or there, she's hearing in the news that there is a gay cancer that's killing gay men, and it's called AIDS. And then she's going to church and hearing pastors say that, and she's now afraid for my son. She's going through a divorce from my dad. She's hearing that homosexuality is caused by divorce. Like, she's fearing for my safety. the thing that, and then I grow up and I become like this fast talking, fun guy. And I'm like, you know what, Mom? I think the Bible is all made up and I don't think it's real. You know, like you can imagine how the foundation of her house is, I'm about to pull the
Yeah.
foundation out from under her and crash that whole fucking house.
So what, like,
Sorry if I'm cussing.
no, you can swear all you like. So, you know, what can you get into this with your mum now? Like, how did you find the peace to have your own belief systems, your methodologies, the way that you like to see the world, but be that close?
Well, it's a good question. I mean, truly, it came from moving away and finding my own life, like finding my own strength to stand on my own and understand. Because there was a season in my 20s when I was basically very knowing that I was gay and knowing that if I had a boyfriend or this and that, like my whole family and my whole community back at home might reject me completely. And finding the peace in myself, being like, okay, that may happen. And if that happens, I'd rather be myself than have a community and be a lie. You know, I was like, I had gone through that scenario in my mind and prepped myself for it.
Yeah.
And so, in a way, that was sort of testing. And then and by the way, I have a mother who is so loving, but she also, part of the foundation of her belief is God is in control, not me. She's like, I believe these things, but God is bigger than me, and God is the author of your life as much as mine. So if you believe that to be true, I'm going to tell you that I don't agree, but I'm still going to love you and I'm still going to be in relationship with you because I don't know everything. And that is a key to her specialness, because some very religious parents are not like that. They're
Yeah.
like, no, I know exactly how it is and I have to reject you from my life. And so, and by the way, my mom is hilarious. And so like we have the like comedy and levity. We can get in the most intense philosophical, religious, political debates, and someone will lob a joke in there, and it just like diffuses and allows us to go, 20 more
Yeah.
minutes, and then you
Yeah.
lob another joke, and I think I mean, humor is just it's medicine,
that.
and it's profound, and some families are humorless, and I don't know what to do about that.